Welcome to our Resolute Agents and Investors nationwide. Today is Thursday, January 2nd, and it's the first call of 2025. And this is All the Leads Mastermind podcast number 509. We have a pretty good turnout today. We weren't sure what to expect. Coach Bruce is not feeling well, and Bill Byrne is on vacation. So we may have a little less turnout than usual, but not a lot. You'll notice I was trying to think of what to talk about today. You notice I addressed you all as Resolute Agents. So I thought this might be a good time for people to volunteer any New Year's resolutions you've made that to improve your business or your personal life and or your production. So, and Tim, I think we're going to, in addition to the winner of the week, we're going to have a resolution of the week, and we'll offer a equal fabulous prize. Is that correct?
Oh, gee, what a great idea, Jim.
That was Tim's idea. So Tim, take it away. That's all I've got for now.
Oh, no, buddy. You're doing this.
I'm doing what?
You got to get the resolutions out of people.
Oh, okay. All right. Anything else you plan on sharing today, Tim?
Not until you're done with this.
Well, no, that was just an ongoing part of the call. So anybody have anything they would like to share with us? It can we like your win of the week as always. Anything that you've decided that you're going to do in addition to or differently, and you're really committed to, and you got to get in before Quitters Friday, which is a week from tomorrow. That's the date the average person gives up on their resolutions every year. So, but seriously, anything you've really resolved or committed to do to make your business and your life better this year, we'd love to hear it. Tim, I know you made one the other day. You said you're gonna a little more outdoor time and little more play, a little less work, right?
Actually, that's the plan, is to get out from behind the computer as much as possible and spend more time outside enjoying all the wonders of the world, and try to enjoy life a little bit more this year. I mean, it's one thing to work real hard and try to be successful and do good things, but I think that becomes a means to an end. Your life is not your work. Your life is what you do with the product of your work, and I think that's an important thing to remember, is that we over the years, we have learned to kind of live our work rather than the other way around. And that's something that that's going to be a hard habit to break for all of us, because we get into what we're doing. We're here today. I mean, pretty good testament to this. A lot of people, because of the time of the year and when things fall this year, are on vacation right now. We have people out, and a lot of people are out, and I'll have to admit that I thought today would be a good day to not be doing this. It'd be a great day to just kind of let the week slide off into the wilderness and hit it hard maybe on Monday. But I think the good news is that I think we had a great year last year, and we saw a lot of progress from a lot of people who did grow and did perfect their techniques and really made the things that we do a part of their lives, and allowed us to be part of their lives. So I think if we can work towards maybe simplifying the way we do things, and maybe spend a little bit less time figuring it out, a little more time doing it, and then have more time to go play and do other things, that's my objective. So, yep, that's a long way of saying, yep, I want to go outside more. Mommy, can I go outside now?
We want to hear from all of you. It might be someone just, I think either Tim or Alyssa reminded me to share with you that we will give you $100 towards your next set of leads if you have the resolution or the win of the week or both. You may have one, and you might win. You never know. And we're not above being self-serving. I mean, it could be to add every product we have and add multiple counties in each. That seems like a good resolution, right?
Yeah.
Seriously, guys,
got to raise your hand and be called on to
please
win. David Cordero, let's find him. Alyssa, can you find him? My view has changed, but find David and call on him if you would, please.
Oh, I got called on.
There you go, pal.
Hello.
What's your plan there, buddy?
So my plan every morning is to exercise, plan, actually prayer, exercise, planning, reading, and devotions, and incorporate both my personal life as well as my work life.
That's
Perfect.
excellent. That's
How
excellent.
many of those items apply to both? Probably all of the above, right?
Yeah, I think all of them really.
Yeah.
It's just a great way to set off your day. And yeah, when I do that, I tend to bear fruit in my business and in other areas of life as well.
Perfect. Well, right now you're in first place. That's the best resolution I've heard yet.
I'm in
Wait a
first
minute,
place
you
right now.
think that was better than I want to go outside?
Can we
Yeah,
seal
yeah,
the deal?
well, you don't qualify, Tim.
Can we seal the deal right now? Can I be declared the winner?
Just like a true salesman. Always closing.
Well,
I think
thank you.
You need to reflect on that a little bit more.
Thank you so much.
We
I'd
appreciate it.
actually like to add something that I actually came across this quote this morning and I put it on my Instagram. So it not going to sound so business-like, but I think it's a really good mindset in being open to possibilities. So it starts by saying you don't always need a plan. Sometimes you just need to breathe, trust, let go, and see what happens. And I think sometimes, especially at the beginning of a new year, we have like tunnel visions with our goals. And we're like, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And it's almost like, the shutters are not opened and we don't see the possibilities that come in. And so I think that's what resonated for me, just being able to say, yeah, I can definitely have a plan, definitely have goals, but be open and trust what possibilities can be available to you.
That's great.
Yeah. I've often said the best things in my life, the best ideas I've had have come from just asking a simple question. I wonder what if, or I wonder how, and just go away, let your mind percolate, and you come to you in the middle of the night or the middle of it's like trying to remember something you can't remember. And as soon as you quit trying to think of it, it comes to you. So that's a really good point. Just open yourself up to all the possibilities.
Sandra,
Good stuff.
Sandra,
Hello. I'm trying to work my new laptop. So
Is that your resolution? Working your new laptop?
See, I came upside down. I'm trying to figure this out. So for me, it's this year I'm focused on probate. I took the probate mastery class. I know I don't know how to fix that. Sorry about that.
It's entertaining. I like
I'm
it.
trying to do this is why I didn't put the video in the first place. But I just took that class with Bruce and learned a lot. I don't have a USP, which I need to work on. And I want to build my business, the probate business, because I already have business on the real estate component. But that's been my focus. I already did my goal for 2025, and the thing that I'm really focused on is on the probate portion.
Great.
let me just ask a question. We didn't
I
have
don't know how
this.
to fix that.
Jim had this idea to make this one of the things we talk about today, and I think it's a good one. But one of the things that has always been the only times I've ever been successful, even briefly, at keeping resolutions, have been that I kind of backed into them. And what I mean by that is, I said, well, how do I want my week to be different this year? What do I want to do differently? What do I want the results of the week to be? What's going to be different? Not what am I going to do, but what do I want the result to be? And start with the result and back up from there. How do I get there? And I think that, to me, that's kind of important. It's like I want to go outside. Well, that's because I thought about my week and I thought I want to spend less of it inside. I want to spend less of it in the office, less in the house, more outside, looking at, seeing how many new goats my wife has managed to coax into the world, and how many chickens we've got, and all the crazy things that go on around here. And in addition to that, just get outside and enjoy the world a little bit. I talked to my sister yesterday, and I'll just share with you. My sister is she was like she's a good bit older than I am, and I won't say how old she is because she wouldn't be happy about that. But let's put it this way: she's got a lot of decades that are out there, and her objective every year has always been, well, I got another one. I might as well make the best out of it, and that's really the way she looks at it. She looks at her life, and I hear a lot of older people saying, "Oh, everybody that I knew." When I was growing up, or friends or all, they've all passed away, and I'm just kind of, that's the way it is, and all that. She didn't look at it that way. She kind of looks at it as, what's she going to do today, and what's growing in her garden, and what's going on with the kids and the grandkids and all that. And she really gets a lot out of her life. And I think that we tend to measure ourselves way too much by what's in our wallets. And I know it's important. You got to feed everybody. Everybody's, it's subjective. It's how we measure ourselves. But I think this year, if we could also just measure ourselves a little bit as to what we got out of our life this year. Did we get more out of our life this year than we expected? Because I can tell you, while I was happy with the results of last year, I wasn't necessarily happy with my role in all of it. I didn't get out of it personally what I wanted to get out of it, and I'm going to do that this year. I'm going to find a way to make that happen. And I think if we can back into those resolutions, we'll be doing better. I do want to hear from more people. We got a lot of people on this call. Have the rest of you not made resolutions? Have you not thought about them or anything else? I mean, the standard one is I'm going to go lose weight. Well, that always works well, and that's the one that Jim said usually makes it by next week. And then, the pie comes into play, and it doesn't work very well. What else have you got out there? Raise your hand and let's hear from you.
And we're not exclusive to that. If you have probate related questions, if you have deals, anything else you want to share.
Hey, Ben, unmute yourself. You have to click the button to unmute yourself. And if the button at the top of your screen says recording, you have to click the OK on that first, maybe before you can unmute yourself.
That's Beth, right? Beth raised her hand.
Yep. Yeah. It's not letting you do it, is it? Yeah.
Somewhere on your screen, Beth, you're going to see being recorded. You just need to click on that to approve,
How's that? I did it. Thank
There
you.
You got it. Okay, sure.
Okay, thanks, guys. Hey, so I'm new to the probate process. I took the class, mastery class, and it was great. So I'm just starting. I'm waiting to get my leads delivered to me. So I'm looking at making a list of all the my vendors that I want to work with, and then it says I'm looking at your list of things to do, the to-do list, order marketing. Is there certain pieces that you recommend or brochures that you recommend that we put together? And then you talk about the 3-point plan as far as letters going out.
Have you
What is it?
Have you spoken with one of our MIS people yet?
I have, so I got to talk to them then, and they would give me some direction on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll talk with you, and what they're typically going to do is they're going to work with you. One of the things you need to be thinking about as you get ready to have that call is what kind of a budget you want to allocate for that. And that's a good segue to looking at all this, because,
Right.
too often people get signed up for something like leads or anything else. They don't have a plan to follow through with the marketing, and that's good that you do. And I'm sure that you got that in the class that you talked with Bruce about. You need to reserve a budget for marketing so that you've got some money to spend to go do the things you need to do. Your leads more valuable. So get your thoughts together in regard to the budget, and then just have the conversation with your MIS, and they'll certainly cover our marketing
And work through that.
And they'll
Okay, and then to jump around a little bit, so I just started there. I went on vacation, so I just came back, but right before I left, it was when I finished the class or the course, and so I made an appointment to meet with an attorney through LinkedIn. I looked up a probate attorney, so I'm making a list of those. So what's my value to them? I've been a realtor for 35 years. Am I toting myself, or am I asking them questions about their practice, and if they would consider being one of my vendors? I mean, what is the pitch I give them?
Did you buy the time, or did you ask for the time?
I'm sorry?
I said, did you buy the time with the attorney or did you ask for the time?
Oh, I asked for the time. I just said, I'd like to meet, and she emailed me back, yeah, let's meet for coffee. So
Oh, that's great.
we
That's great.
we actually had a coffee date, but it was a really bad weather, so we said we'll wait till I get back. So, but she's local. She seems very genuine, and I guess just talk about business, right? Her
Sure.
business or
Well,
my business. Whose business do I talk about? Hers or
okay.
mine?
So
Uh,
here's the thing that you probably need to learn as much as you
mhm,
can about, and that is, how does
mhm,
probate work in your area? How does it work in the county that you're
mhm.
in? And that's what
Okay.
the attorney can tell you. There, hopefully she can tell you some of the ins and outs of what's going on in your marketplace so that
Mhm,
you learn more about
mhm.
how the process works there, because every market is a bit different. The other side of it is you ought to be
Right.
ready to tell her what you possibly can bring to the game in terms of expediting the process, what things you're good at, how you can make it
Okay.
easier on her to get to the point
Mhm.
where probates get closed, because that's your value that you bring to the game.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
time, you know,
Yeah,
they're,
Beth, there's a lot of non-related attorney things, cleaning out the house, maybe
Mhm,
put up a no
mhm.
trespassing sign, you know,
Right.
contractors. There's a good thing to say to her is I'm sure you get calls for things that are not your
Mhm,
expertise, refer them to me. And the other thing I was going to say,
mhm.
the first thing you should do, you already did, which was pick up the phone and make an appointment right away. It amazes us
Right.
how many
Mhm,
people just work the executors and they don't work those attorneys. They're intimidated.
mhm,
Don't need to be intimidated. Attorneys can have a
mhm.
bit of an ego. So, like Tim said, ask them
Right. Right.
questions. Hey, you know a lot more about this than I do. The other value you can bring that'll get their attention, often I suggest you use this to get the appointment,
Mhm,
but it still would be
mhm.
good on the appointment to say to them, I'm getting 100 leads a month, or how many are you actually getting in your market? Do you know?
200.
Oh,
200.
wow. So I'm getting
I'm in
200
Oakland
leads.
County. It's a big, yeah.
That's great. So I'm getting 200 leads a month and I'm marketing to these people. I'm calling them and I'm finding about 10-15% of them don't have an attorney. Would you mind if I referred some of
Oh,
those people to you? They're going to
oh,
say,
that makes
sure,
sense.
sure. There's something called, golly, Tim will know the
Pro,
expression. What is it, Tim?
pro, quid,
Yeah,
pro.
yeah, exactly. I forget what the term is, but it's like the equivalent of a for sale by owner. People will call
Mm-hmm,
the probate court and try to do the probate themselves. So on the list, you'll see that they don't have an attorney. It's also
mm-hmm,
like a for sale by owner. A majority of them will end up hiring a realtor by the end. A majority of the
mm-hmm,
people will get overwhelmed and they'll hire an attorney by the end. So you could say to that
mm-hmm,
attorney, I'm getting 30, 40, 50 people a month that I'm
mm-hmm,
talking to that don't yet have an attorney. Would you mind if I referred some of those to you? And I'm sure you
mm-hmm.
have people call you that don't have a realtor yet. Would you be willing to refer some of those to me? It's a
Okay.
good,
That makes
that's the
sense.
quid pro quo that you were referring to.
Yeah.
That's a
Yes, I
good
like that. That's
proposition.
an attorney line. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
Okay. And
Aline, you
marketing,
look like
talk
you
to
wanted,
mine.
I think Aline wanted to add to it. I saw her shaking her head. Did you have something to
Oh,
add,
I
Aline?
did completely in agreement. And I think one of the questions that I always like to ask
Mm-hmm,
the attorneys, because
mm-hmm,
genuinely, as much that you could take off their load, they're very
mm-hmm,
grateful for that. I always was in the mindset that I had to refer somebody to the attorney in terms to get something back. And that's not
mm-hmm,
necessarily the case.
mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, they're so relieved
Yeah.
that you're there as a partner to help
Mm-hmm.
move their client along the process of probate. So really
Right.
emphasize what you have to offer, what you bring to the table. But the one question that I always like to end off and leave with when I meet them in person is, what's the one
Mm-hmm,
thing that's most important to you when
mm-hmm,
dealing? What's the one thing that's most important to you from a realtor in the
mm-hmm,
probate process? Or what's the one
mm-hmm,
thing that's most challenging that you're dealing
mm-hmm,
with, so that you know what you can emphasize. And oftentimes
mm-hmm,
it's just like, oh my gosh, just help them get an estate sale person, help them figure out how to clean out and go through all of these
mm-hmm.
things. And it's
Okay.
the
All right.
small
Yeah.
things to help.
Well, Bruce talked
take the
about the
growth.
concierge service thought process, so that makes
Yep.
sense. It does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Beth,
Okay.
there's a couple things you might not even be aware of that you could tell the attorney about. We have Probate Cash. We have an affiliate that if the attorney
Mhm.
knows the heirs are struggling, if the house is in bad shape, maybe there's a mortgage,
Mhm.
they can't make the payments, you can help them get funds within 48 hours. You know, and if they have an attorney,
Mhm.
it's almost everybody will qualify. So you could mention things like that.
Mhm.
If you have clients that need money right away, maybe even to pay you. It's,
Yeah, I'm last
yeah.
on the list probably, right? Yeah.
No, exactly. We have Probate Cash. There's another company we've dealt with called Fair Split, which if there's disputes or anything like arguing about possessions in the house, or if there's
Mhm.
disputes with families, they'll help settle that. So, you know, I'd go through just go through not only generic the services you can offer, but throw one or two of those out there to let them know you actually have specific solutions. And the other
Okay.
thing, question for you, when you found the attorney, did you just start at the top of the list and start calling, or how did you decide who to call first?
Well, I'm trying to figure it out. I went through LinkedIn and I looked at attorneys, probate attorneys in Oakland County, Michigan, and some popped up, not a whole lot, but then it helped me call attorney friends of mine and say, "Do you know anyone?" And someone said a relative. She said, "I used to work in the probate department." And I thought, "Holy cow, perfect person to me to talk to." She said, "I'll give you 3 attorneys." I said, "Great." So so I guess
Now,
it's just starting to make connections.
yeah, no, that's a great way to do it. Do you have your first list of leads yet?
No, I'm still waiting for my list. It's like any day it's going to
Okay.
pop up. So I'm
You'll
just
you'll
ready.
be pleasantly surprised. In the vast majority of markets, we give you the attorney information that's connected if it's
Oh,
available at the
okay.
courthouse. So what I was going to say,
Okay.
when you get that spreadsheet, you can sort
Hmm.
according to attorney, and you'll see
Okay.
like, oh, this one's getting 5 a month, this one's getting 6. And you want to start with the
Mm.
ones that are doing volume.
Again, more.
Yeah,
Right,
an
right. Okay.
attorney like that, the executor is going to give you one deal. An attorney who's doing a half a dozen a month could be, countless
Yeah,
deals over the course
but
of your
don't
career.
don't you think they have their favorite real estate agents already? The attorneys are not necessarily. No,
Go
not
ahead, Ali,
necessarily.
please.
Mm-hmm. No,
Sure.
not
Everybody starts
necessarily.
somewhere. Everybody
Yeah.
starts somewhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
don't and not necessarily, a lot of the times the smaller firms are going to be, it doesn't mean that
Mm.
it's the big firms only that do volume business. Sometimes it's just one attorney and that's what they focus on and they do a lot of business. So don't
Mhm.
pigeonhole it, be open.
Okay.
And
We
that's
we've
my
heard
approach, what Jim mentioned.
we've heard from a lot
Mhm.
of our subscribers too. The attorney says, "Oh, I don't like to refer a realtor. It reflects badly on me if you don't do a good job." And that just means they
Mm.
haven't met a
Mhm.
realtor yet that they have enough confidence to refer. So it doesn't mean that they're
Yeah.
opposed to it. And so you earn their
Right.
confidence, or earn their business, their trust, and you get a
Mhm.
good chance down the road.
You should want to talk to as many probate attorneys as you possibly could at any time. That's an
Okay.
opportunity you never want to miss. Because if you
Okay.
don't talk to them and they don't know about you, that's a referral you'll never get. And if you get really, really
Mhm.
good to polish that particular meeting, that can be a
Mhm.
huge part of your referral business.
Okay. I'm
Because
working on that. That makes
you
sense.
might end up with a dozen attorneys as their
Mhm.
go-to person. And you got it made at that point. You couple that with getting all the leads that you get in good marketing, and you'll knock it out of the park. You said you want to build it as part of your business. Rock and roll. That's a
Mhm.
great way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
One
Beth,
don't
other,
be,
I
yeah,
have
other,
high
don't be
hopes for you.
Yeah.
limited.
I have
right.
high hopes for you
Okay.
because the single biggest
All right.
mistake we see people make is they want to know everything before they do anything. And you're just the opposite. You're just jumping in
Yeah, I just want to
and that's
jump
how
in
you
and see if I can do this. So I'm not going to be shy on this one. I'm going to go
that's
through
the
with it.
single biggest key to success. So
Yeah.
congratulations. Good job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right.
I noticed in hang in there if you have
Okay.
any other questions. I noticed David said he has a deal he wants to share. David Cordero. Can we unmute him again?
We did.
Sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to give kind of an overarching review of 2024 and where I'm at now. It's starting to pick up. Kind of all the leads thing. It's been a long time. It's taken me a while. It's been a slow go, but most of my business does not come from probate or divorce or anything of that nature, but it's starting to pick up steam. And so in 2024, I ended up closing out 3 probates, and then one deal that I have in contract right now. I tried to sell this place on the open market, and because there was a tenant in, it was very challenging to get someone that wanted to bite down on this deal. And then but time was of the essence because of the situation financially that they were in. And so I asked them, I threw kind of a Hail Mary, and I asked them, hey, would you consider to do a owner carry option? And then tried to make it a win-win to give them enough money to where they could meet their responsibilities and have a little extra, and then also a win for me, so I'm not overextending myself. And it ended up being a great deal. So we're on contract now, and it should be about $100,000 deal at the very end when it's all said and done. So pretty thankful with that. And then also I have my first divorce lead coming up, first divorce listing coming up. Yeah, signed my first divorce listing contract. And then I have 2 probate listings for 2025 this year. So 3 last year, 1 in escrow, and then a divorce and 2 probates in contract. So
Phenomenal.
Yeah,
David,
You're talking, bud. Great way to start the year.
yeah.
Did you notice a significant difference between what you needed to do to get the divorce or the probate, or is it pretty much the same process?
Divorce is a little different animal. I messed up a few of those by siding with one person over the other, kind of.
Yep.
It's just kind of natural. So then the first person I spoke to, without speaking to both people, so the husband locked up a contract with me on one of my first ones, and then they ended up canceling it before I had it listed because the wife was angry of the fact that I didn't speak with her as well at the same time. So that was a big surprise to me. So then now I just ask a lot more investigative questions. And, divorce usually takes a while, I found. Like, I have a few leads for divorce that I'm probably going to be able to lock up under contract. But they're, 3, 4 months, 5 months down the road because of the process. But slightly different, little different ride for sure. But also, of course.
We've said a couple times, I think our expectation is that divorce would be a little bit quicker than probate, and it's pretty similar. It's a slow burn. You gotta, there are things that keep the people from taking action for a while. There's triggers according to the court when Johnny graduates high school and stuff like that. So it's very similar process. You win their business, you win their trust, and put them into your long-term follow-up. And congratulations, though, that you're successfully working both.
Yeah.
I have to add one other thing there. And, you say that, Jim, almost every time we do this, and you're right. In a lot of cases, that is true. But it's also correct that in some cases, whether it be probate, divorce, or anything else, the death lights an immediate fuse. And, you may be finding a circumstance where same thing is true with divorce, where the breadwinner in the family is no longer contributing directly in the family, whether it's divorce or other. They're now only doing half of it, and the other one can't afford the other half of that mortgage. Or in the case of probate, nobody can afford the mortgage because the breadwinner's not there anymore, and insurance isn't going to cover it, and they're in a tizzy about what's going to happen to everybody. And those are the kinds of questions that you need to get really good at asking in the circumstance that you're in, is kind of find out. It's a hard question to ask, but kind of need to find out what the financial circumstances are that they're dealing with, because you may find that if your expectation is that it's going to take a really long time, it will. And if you find the ones where that fuse has been lit early on with that process, you're going to find that there are going to be some opportunities there. And I just want to say one other thing. This is more to Beth as well. Beth, one of the things that you also need to make sure of, if you don't already have it, is that you've got an investor or two on your team, so that if you find opportunity for a good deal, that's in there and it's not one you want to pursue directly, that you have cash investors who can step up and move quickly to make an offer on property to get something done. And that's another thing that you need to be developing as part of your team. So you need to start looking for those if you don't already have them. And I don't know that you do or you don't. I'm just saying that's something that you should make part of your program. Okay?
Perfect.
All
And
right.
David was the one that gave us the resolution also, right? So he's still, I believe. So David, right now you're leading in both categories, deal of the week and resolution. So
He's trying to
yeah.
clean things up, you know, he's got all these deals hopping. He just wants to take all our money and get everybody else's as well. Good man, go for it. Yeah, that's great stuff. That's great stuff. Anybody else? Just to be heard, just click on the react button and that should give you the opportunity. There you go. Katie, unmute yourself there if you would, please.
Hi there, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, Happy New Year.
Same to you.
In terms of resolutions, haha, what mine is to lose weight, but I really am more into strength training twice a week. So that's what I'm going to commit to for now. Ideally 3 times a week, but at least twice a week. So I'm already on track for that. In terms of probate, I did have a question. Had a potential seller call the other day, and they have a contentious situation. So I'm wondering if you have a different attorney, probate attorney for sticky family situations, or if they're all, able to handle all of it. So it was like an estranged wife, and they were just about to sign divorce papers. The gentleman died. She deeded the property to her kids. The home was purchased with the proceeds from the first wife who died, which is the parent of the person who called. So anyway, I'm just wondering. It's like a hairball.
Katie, was this a probate lead? Let me just ask that. Okay,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, most family law attorneys, if they've been doing it for a while, most of them have the ability to sort through that and, try to figure out a way to do it without, looking at it from a partiality standpoint. And that's really kind of, David made the point in the divorce, taking sides is always a challenge.
Right.
That's like politics. You really want to avoid it if you can. And, finding the other good thing about that is that if you have the attorney there and you're the one that brings the attorney to the game, you don't have to worry about which way it's going to go. If they trust the attorney, they're going to trust you. So, and if you find out that there's already an attorney involved, if you can get recommended to that attorney by one or more of the parties, that's the best way to do it. Either way, you don't want to be the one who's trying to help them make the decision about doing this unless it's a last resort. And then step up, make it work, say, hey, here's a way to resolve this for everybody. Come up with a plan and, lead the game. There are lots of ways to win in that kind of circumstance. Jim.
Katie, I may have misheard you. Did you say that after the husband passed away, she deeded the property to her kids? Is that what you said? Or
yeah, to her children. And the one who called me was wanting to fire the probate attorney. She said he was incompetent, and to hire a new one. So she wanted a recommendation for a new probate attorney, but also the wife did not have the testamentary papers. So she did all that out of.
She didn't actually deed it. She just appointed her kids as heirs. It sounds like you couldn't deed it until the probate was completed.
I don't know the specific of that. She said she deeded it, but like I said, she didn't have the proper
the deed
authority.
wouldn't be valid until the probate was completed.
Right. So that's what the daughter that I talked to is wanting to chase it. And then to compound it, it's in a different city. So I'm in Kansas City area. It's 3 hours away. So the home itself. So she was calling from Arizona.
So it was originally a husband and wife. The original husband passed away, left it to the wife, and then you're saying she deeded it to the kids at that point, right?
Her kids, but they were second marriage. So
did he have kids as well?
Yes, he had kids, and the daughter of the first marriage, the home was purchased with the proceeds of the mom's death, his first wife. So, yeah, I just,
What I'm not getting, Tim, is if it was like a right of, if it was a right of survival, then she got the house and deeded over, then it wouldn't have to go through probate now. If there wasn't a right of survival and it was just a will, she wouldn't have been able to deed it over.
Yeah, but
So
they
you
could
may-
still contest every part of that, given that it didn't
Yeah.
happen until the death occurred. So they can still contest both sides of it and
Yep.
claim partiality, and, the mother didn't take care of his children, only hers, and I'm sure that's what you're dealing with, right?
right.
Yeah. You need to try to let a mediator sort this out and try to make a win for everybody, because it's, that's a messy deal. You'll end up with nothing if you can't find a way to get that done. And
Right.
that's a harsh reality, but if there's no mediation that occurs, you've got one attorney that's there who's probably doing the bidding of the lady who said she wanted to do it this way. And the obviously feeling unrepresented child isn't gonna have that. She'll find somebody else anyway. If she's looking
Uh-huh.
for a suggestion, why don't you ask her for what she would like the new attorney to do? If that's the case, put the bug back on them. Say, what do you want them to do other than make it be your way as opposed to the other way? What
Okay.
what you ought to be doing? Put some of it back on them, and then
Okay.
take those answers and go to market with that a little bit.
Okay.
Is she your contact, the wife? Is she the one that you called?
No, the personal representative is the daughter, the one I was
Interesting.
talking to.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Is she named as the PR in the will?
That's the lead that I got, yeah.
Interesting.
So I've been mailing to the daughter.
It's a very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And is there an attorney of record on that?
There is, and she said he's overloaded and incompetent. And
Well, have you tried
I've
to talk to
actually
that attorney?
looked on, and I was proud, she's not wrong. I mean, from the comments that I've seen online, so.
I mean, it's probably worth lobbing a call in to at least see if you can find out if there is the other side of the story there, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And if she is the executor, she could probably get a new attorney appointed. I mean,
Absolutely could. If she's the
absolutely.
executor. Good,
You
for
don't have
sure.
to stick with it. You might like our other subscriber who that might be a good way for you to earn a good referral from an attorney. Find a good probate attorney in your market that's recommended, or look down your list and see who's doing a lot of deals. Call him and tell him the situation and say the executor is really not happy. She would possibly like to fire her attorney and hire you. What should I
Okay.
do? What should I do?
Okay.
That'd be a really good way to
Okay.
make make a good contact with the attorney and maybe solve the situation.
okay. All
If
right,
she's in
thanks.
control, you're dealing with the person who's in control. If she was
I
named
believe so,
executor,
yes.
not
Yes,
complete control, but more than anybody
Yeah,
else involved.
exactly.
So you're
Yeah,
dealing with the right
Is
person.
there a will?
that part, I mean, we didn't get, she was pretty upset when I talked to her.
Well, that's a
She,
question that you should ask. Is there a will? For sure, because the will have something to say about every aspect of that, if in fact it's there. Now, it's also possible that the will was never updated after the death, and a lot of water has gone under the bridge at that point. And Jim made the point earlier that if the surviving spouse who deeded the property to her children or purported to do that had rights of survivorship on the property, it may be the only avenue available to the person that contacted you is to contest it via the will. Otherwise, there's not much to be done there.
okay,
Because if she had it with joint tenancy and rights of survivorship, either on the mortgage or the deed itself, you're going to find that that's a pretty strong case. It might not be a fair and equitable way to do it, but you don't want to be in a situation where you're pitting this husband's daughter against the mother of the other three kids. You want to try to stay out of that battle if you can avoid it.
Tim, the last thing we want to do is confusion, but it seems like if that were the case, then a probate would not have been filed, or an attorney wouldn't have agreed to file the probate.
That's what I'm saying. It looks like a strange deal all the way around.
Yeah, there's something that doesn't quite add up, but boy, I'd get off and find a good local probate attorney. And like I said, take your leads, see who's doing 3, 4, 5 deals in your market, or see
Okay.
if you can get and call
How
them.
big,
They'll,
how big a deal is this house-wise? How much, what do you think's equity in the house?
You know, I can't say offhand. I just, yeah, I don't even know.
Well, that's
Because
important.
the house is in a different city, so I'm not seeing, I mean, I guess, I think I instituted Property Plus right after this lead. You know what I'm saying? That form, the drop, so I don't have the information on that home.
Well, you might want to just find, I mean, is any of the kids living in the house?
No, I think I'm not sure. That
Okay.
would I'd have to have another conversation with her.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get some of those questions answered, because if nobody's living in it, then it's an investment property. It's all about the money at that point. Somebody's gonna buy it, somebody's gonna get money. You may
Okay.
find that someone either is or wants to live in the house, or, there's
Okay.
a lot of, did any of them live in the house ever? Well, you don't know that either, I don't imagine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, find out. You got a lot of questions to ask, but Jim's making a
Yeah.
good point. Go armed with go find a good probate attorney or family law attorney who will let you represent them into this deal, and then try to get them to do the dirty work for you.
Yeah.
That's why I asked about
Yeah.
the equity in the house. If
Sure.
there's a lot of equity and it's a big deal, then they might stand to make enough money to make it worth their while to do some work, kind of with you on this. If it's not a big deal to them, their interest level is not going to be real high.
Okay.
and Katie, please keep us posted. You don't even have to wait till next call. If something comes up tomorrow or the day after you need some help, reach out to us.
Okay, will do. Thank
One
you.
of us will personally call you back.
All right. Thanks, Jim.
I-
Thanks.
Yeah.
I want to add one other thing, Katie, is in terms of the attorney that I find that's really valuable is that not only is it a good probate attorney, but do your best for as much as you know right now to personality match. Because some attorneys could be very, very fast talking and could be extremely intelligent and wonderful, but the person is older and just needs somebody a little bit more slow paced to be able to repeat. I find that having a lot of different attorneys is great for a lot of reasons. And one of them is I do a lot of personality matching. You want to
Okay.
make sure that they connect, because part of the reason is that it's not only like, oh, this person's just like not competent and can't help me, but it's also the way that they're communicating and
Sure.
that they're able to communicate with their clients and meet them where they're at.
Right.
I think that that's important.
Thank you.
So when you interview attorneys, so to speak,
Yeah.
see which one you think would be the best match for them
Very
in that
good.
way.
Thank you all.
Mhm.
That's a great insight there for sure, Aline, because it's just like anything else, you'll find a very factual person that, that's what somebody wants. And then you'll find somebody who's very, hi there, how are you? Let me see if I can help you. And knows everything under the sun, but brings it on a, Cracker Barrel comfort food platform, and they're happy. And they're very different personalities. All attorneys aren't the same for sure. The other thing to look at, just a quick shot of that, is when your leads come and you sort the leads and you find that one or more of the attorneys that are listed as attorneys on your leads, sort them by attorney. And if you find one that's got 6 or 7 of them, then they're doing a lot of work in your marketplace, and those should be some of your early targets to find out if that's somebody that you can work with. Great
Perfect.
question, though. Great, very thought-provoking for what we're getting at here.
Hey, Tim, Alyssa just reminded us to answer Sandy Castle's question. Do you see it there? About the best CRM to use in working probate leads?
Yeah, I did see that.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was just going to ask if anybody else has any other resolutions they want to share. Otherwise, I'll take off on that one for a second. I see your thumbs up there. All right, unmute yourself there, Sandy.
Hey guys, I'm not completely new to probate. I've done several probate deals, but I've just recently signed up with the probate program, and I had my first meeting with Bill, and he said get a CRM before you do anything else, otherwise you're going to be dead in the water. So unfortunately, I have been stuck on trying to find a CRM. I am not really well versed in CRM, despite the fact that I've been in real estate for 30 years. So it's just one of my Achilles heels. And I'm curious to know what you guys look for. What makes you successful in a CRM? What are the features that you look for? What are your must-haves? If you've got any suggestions about names of programs that it doesn't violate any, rule or something, I would be grateful to check that out as well. But really, what are the features that help you the most, you think, that I can, then kind of go cobble together on my own?
Have you taken a look at the free CRM that we provide you?
Oh, I have on a very, very minimal basis. And I had planned on going back and looking at it again, and just like somebody else had suggested, just get started using that one until you get your shit together, until you figure out what you're doing. And so yeah, that is something that I had determined to do. I just it's on my list.
Because the last I'm sorry, Eileen, go ahead.
No, I can wait till you're done with your thought, Tim.
All I was going to say
I'll
is
chime in after.
the last thing you want to do is wait. And what you're saying is you're going to wait until you figure out a CRM to go do something. Don't do that.
Yeah, like I'm stuck. I know I'm stuck here. Like I have to get over this hump. And so
the answer is you already have a CRM. It's built into the system. Go use that one. And then once you use it, you'll say, well, I wish it did this, or I wish it did that, or I wish it had this feature, or whatever. Know what you want based on what you're using rather than trying to figure out in advance, because you're going to try to figure something out that you don't have expertise in. You set it up front. And I'm using your words, you've been at this for 30 years. You kind of know what you want.
I've already had 3 or 4 misfires on a CRM. And so I'm a little bit fearful about, I can't choose the CRM correctly. So yeah, that's where I'm stuck.
Well, so start with the one that we gave you and then build from that and start making a list of, well, I wish it did this or wish it did that, and see if there's one out there that will do what you want. But in the meantime, get busy. And you've got the leads, they're in there. That's why I put them in there. Deliberately, it's very, very simplistic. It's not a very full-featured, not a very, what one would call a robust, full-on CRM. It's specifically designed around working the leads that we give you, and that's what you're paying for. So we make it so that you can use that very well. You can do marketing around them. You can make appointments in it. You can do the things that are very basic that you need to do to make it work. And that'll get you started. That's the best answer I can give you. And then
Sandy,
advice, my friend.
Eileen, did you have something you want to add before I go?
Well, I think Tim, you completely said it. I agree. I have another CRM, but I use the CRM from all the leads all the time, especially at the beginning. I work that CRM before I dump it into anything into another CRM. So I agree wholeheartedly. Use it, work it, tag it, flag it, all of those things. And oftentimes just remind yourself, and we all fall into this, where we fix to get ready to, right? We look for things to do to avoid what we really need to do, which is just delve into making the calls. Use the CRM genuinely. It's an excellent CRM for what for what you're paying for. Most will give you leads, which is just like literally not even in a database, but it'd be like on a spreadsheet in this tiny little print, where this is wonderful. And eventually, just like Tim said, you'll figure out what you need next, what would be best for you.
And Katie, what I was going to add, Bill's a great coach. Bill's been in the business for 40 years. I called him with a lead the other day, and he said, let me check with my 8,000 investors. So Bill, like probably pretty quickly outgrew our CRM. I think our average subscriber, it's more than adequate. I mean, I think a vast majority of our people don't ever need anything else. And the nice thing with using ours, it's tied to all your other marketing. So, if you're doing mailings, it'll exclude the people you exclude. I would use it, and you probably will never. I'm about as tech savvy as you are, it sounds like, or probably worse. I'm a lot older than you are.
I have a love-hate relationship with technology at this point in my life.
Exactly. Yeah. So why take on something you don't need? I suspect for you, it'll be all you ever need. No matter how much you dig into this, and it's very probate friendly, and the same thing with divorce and our other lead types, and it's tied to all the other marketing we do. So it's really simple. It's a one solution system. So I think you'll likely be fine with it.
Okay, you guys have made me feel good about my decision to go back and like see what it has to offer, and I thank you for that sage advice, my friends, my new friends. Much
Very good.
appreciated.
Rock on. Glad to have you around, and we'll look forward to hearing your successes as we go.
Hey, Tim, before we go to Roger, Katie had a question, and you might have seen it, had a question about, I think she's asking about probate cash. Did you see
Yeah, I
that?
bet. I'm gonna
Okay.
get Roger real quick, and then we'll go to that. Roger, what's up, bud?
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Uh, I was just going to make an observation. I have two CRMs. One that I do with that has my 15 years of clients on it, and I do marketing to my people that I know, and by referral only programs that I run with that CRM. But I use while it is in progress. The company's this ATL's CRM for everything during. When I close it, I'll transfer that information onto my client CRM and use that. But while I'm working the leads for probate and everything else with that ATL provides, I'm using that CRM. And everybody's right; it's got everything you need to know on it.
Great, bud. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Cam, unmute yourself there, bud. There you
Hey,
go.
what's up, guys? Happy New Year.
Same to you.
How you doing? So I mean, CRM I use what's called Alchemist Connect. It it kind of handles everything. I didn't even know you guys had a CRM. I would have utilized that instead. But yeah, I use Alchemist Connect. It kind of runs everything from the cold calling to sending mailers and all that fun stuff. So yeah, didn't know if that helped, but
Great, thanks.
I was gonna say we were talking about like the goals for the year and stuff like that. So pretty decent start to the year. I didn't know if I told you last time about the attorney thinks the conservator has something to do with her sister dying, but I ended up nurturing the lead, and she's mailing me the keys to the condos. So I'm going to be checking those out. And I had a few deals come to fruition that I've been working on since September. But I didn't call in December because I felt like it just was too close to Christmas, because I did call and some lady was crying, and I was just like, I don't think this is a good time to be calling, so I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of, being on the phone and all that fun stuff. But yeah, my goals are just to be consistent and continue to prospect attorneys as well. I've had some luck there, and stay on the phone. I'm going to do 2 deals a month. That's my goal. Try to pump up the YouTube channel and all that fun stuff, and just be consistent.
Let me spring off, and I'm gonna thank you very much. I appreciate that. Those are great, and it's you knock out 2 a month, you're rocking. I just want to say one other thing, and I'm going to camp on what you said there. You made a great point about consistency, and one of the challenges that we have is that we do this haphazardly, and it's kind of the backing into the plan that I talked about in the beginning. What do you want your life to look like? If you carve out a certain amount of time every day and say, this is the time that I'm going to spend on this, whatever that is, whatever that action is, if that's out dialing, if that's sending out letters, if that's doing any part of your business that you want to go do, if it's any sort of prospecting, whatever it is, anything else. Also, what are you going to take for yourself? When are you going to spend time? Somebody said they're going to the gym. Well, what time is that going to happen? What time are you going to be doing that? I'm not saying every minute of your life needs to be scheduled. Make sure you have a bunch of it that isn't scheduled, so that you can take advantage of spontaneous joy along the way. But make a plan, and make part of your plan to follow a regimented set of activities that you do every day. Put it on the calendar and make it happen so that you know what's going on. And I'm going to try to get this right. Is it Zainab? Zainab?
Yes, Zainab.
Zainab, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing? Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Yeah. We're located in Chicago, so we're actually focused on probate. Like, we've been in the industry since 2006. but our niche, we kind of zoomed in more into 2020. So we've done quite a few deals and we focus on that every year. In just trying to enhance probate. We also kind of focus on trust transactions. So we get quite a few clients that are in trust transactions that will reach out to us where we would help sell their homes within the trust as well. We've done a couple of guardianship deals, but that's our niche. Like our probate is our niche. One of the things I did notice is I personally, as the managing broker, is certified as a CPRES. And we've done that through RRC, which is one of our organizations that we're a part of within Illinois. But I am curious, I noticed that you guys do have, I believe, a class as well. Because I'm a big believer in you can never learn enough. You can always keep learning in your niche and kind of zoom more into it so that you could become the best of it. So I'm just curious what class you guys were referring to and what you offer, and just a little more details on that. That would be helpful.
Sure. If you just go to our website and click on training, you'll be able to see all of what we're offering. What we're mostly talking about today is the probate mastery class. We also have a probate foundations class that is free. Mastery does have a fee for it. Bruce, who is the person who delivers the class, unfortunately is ill today. He's not on the call. Come back if you want to come back and talk with him next week. He'll be on the call and you can ask him any questions you have about that. But it's kind of the high end of probate. Once you've been doing it a while, you want to learn as much as you can and really be a superstar in it. And, you know, whatever things that we can offer based on over a decade of experience and talking to pretty much everybody about it, that's what's offered in that class.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely, I'll do that. I'll take a look at your website. I know for us, we towards the end of last year, we kind of got connected with probate data. We did used to go, I had someone go into the courthouse, kind of eliminated that role, and probate data kind of steps in to help us. So that's actually been really helpful. Just, we have a recruiting firm that actually focuses on calling those leads for us and try to make sure, just verifying that the contact information that we have is accurate. And then we dump that into our CRM once we have more of the accuracy on the email, the phone, and then we kind of build our marketing from there.
I think you're going to do a lot of work to do the things that we already do for you if you were getting leads from us.
Repeat that again.
I said, it sounds like you're going through a lot of extra work that we do and build into the lead gathering process that we do. We take all of the leads that we gather, we put them through about 30 plus steps to verify all that data. We verify the deliverability of it, phone numbers, email addresses, do not call lists, all of that. You should very definitely, take a look at what we're doing and look at getting the leads from us. I'll tell you that our leads are better leads.
Okay, where do I find that better leads than the probate data leads? You guys have a separate lead system?
Yep.
Okay, where do I find that information that you're referring to?
Alltheleads.com.
Okay.
Alltheleads.com.
And just click on your county.
Got an email that invited you to this call. That's who we are.
Okay, got it.
And just click on your county and request, and someone will get right back.
Someone will get, okay.
If you're in our system already, I'll have them reach out after the call. If you aren't, just go there and you'll get in the system that way.
And Katie, I'm going to answer your question in just a second. I just want to ask you one other question. What are you working all of Metro Chicago? Do you work inside, outside? What area do you focus on?
Yeah, we focus on just in Chicago, mainly Cook County and Kane and Will County. So all those three counties we kind of focus on.
Got it.
There's a lot there, so yeah.
For sure, yeah, that's definitely the case. And of course, we know that we're actually, one of the things that we typically had not done and we're doing this year is we're going to break Cook County itself up into multiple segments because it's a great big, it's a great big county. And that's why I asked the question, if you're focused on, inside the loop, outside the loop, wheeling, where you be working and all that, so that when we segment it, we might segment it in a way that might be beneficial to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right now we kind of focus on just a lot of the Chicago and suburbs. We'll do anything in and out. We don't necessarily limit ourselves because we do recognize this. Again, it's probate. Some transactions work and some don't. But if it's something that you guys, I would love to hear more about the program and see where it can help us and maybe even improve our process. Definitely open. That's the whole point of what we're doing. So
super. Okay. Well, get in touch with, if you're not already in our system, hop in, quick check your county, put Cook County in, somebody reach out to you and we'll start there. How about that?
Sounds good. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
All right, we appreciate you. Katie, I want to
Thank
answer
you.
your quick question about the cash. You had asked about, I think, about the probate cash program. Yeah. So, and I'm not going to ask you to unmute. I can just quickly explain it. The two things that are important there is, one, there must be a will. And the second part of it is there must be an attorney. If both of those things are present and the attorney can validate the fact that the person who is seeking the money is in fact named in the will, and that there's some equity in the property so that there's money coming out of it to pay for it, then the beauty of, excuse me, the beauty of the probate cash program is that the company that's lending this money, and it's not a loan, it's an advance. They're advancing that money and they will wait until it closes. And they gauge the amount that they charge as a fee based on how long it takes to get that done. So it's not a rate, it's a fee structure. And that's how they work on it. You don't have to do anything other than make sure somebody fills that form out. They take it from there and deal with your client and all of that. And you also can earn a commission on it. As you do that, you get a piece of the action for recommending them for that program. So you can get up to 300, even I think as much as $500 per transaction for doing the probate cash side of it. They are very strict about it. They want to make sure that they're going to get the advances paid back and all that. But in the right circumstance, with the right deal, with a good attorney and a good solid will, enough equity, that's a great way to get property repairs done or tide people over until the probate can get settled to handle that immediate fuse that got lit when the person passed on. So that's kind of that program. You said it's already, it already shows up on your site and all that. So you know kind of how it works. They just fill the form out and off it goes. You don't have to do anything. Okay. Hey, Jimmy, I think we've hit the top of the hour here, my friend.
We're going into overtime a little bit. Hey, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today. Great attendance for the first week of the year. We appreciate your attendance. We very much appreciate those that actively participated. David, Aline, Sandra, Beth, Katie, Sandy, Roger, Cam, Zainab, and even Tim. And I want to challenge each of you, take one idea that inspired you on this call, go out and put it into practice, and please come back next Thursday and share your results with the group. Have a great week, everybody. Same time next week.